Hi everyone, this is Elena Kraus and welcome to another card video. In this video, we're using the Impression Obsession Faceted Background along with Failure Taught Me stamp. It's the Failure Taught Me comes as a cling mount or as a wood mount, so you can put your pick your option when you're purchasing it. So I'm using some Bristol smooth paper to stamp that faceted background. And I'm stamping using embossing and watermark ink. But before I go into the stamping, I'm using my anti-static powder tool to rub it across my background. Not the background stamp, but my background paper that I'm using. I'm inking up the stamp in my MISTI tool and stamping once. I'm kind of rubbing with my sleeve to make sure, because we are using a background stamp that's like intricate, that I have good transfer of ink. And I'm going one more time just in case. So I'm just pressing again, kind of rubbing it, make sure that we have nice impression. So we're done. I'll put my MISTI tool aside and I'll use some white embossing powder to apply onto my stamped image, making sure that I have nice coverage and shaking off the excess ink if it's tacked to place where it should not, like where the image is not stamped. So now that we have that covered in embossing powder, after I clean my surface, I'll put it on a wood kind of block and heat set it to melt that embossing powder. So I'm just going across one section at a time and making sure that embossing powder is nice and melted. Just don't keep the heat gun too long over one area so you do not burn the embossing powder. Next, I'll on separate piece of white cardstock, I'll stamp the sentiment. And the first stamp didn't stamp well, so I did it one more time. And I'm setting those aside for now. Now we're going back to the background, and I'm using a couple inks from hybrid inks from Impression Obsession. I'm using Canary, Peony, and Bubblegum. So first, I ink blended that Canary in the kind of center. Next, I'm going with Bubblegum around it, and then we'll do Peony around the edges. That's the darkest pink from the colors we're using today. And then I decided that I wanted to use some orange as well for the transition between the pinks and the yellow. So I decided to use Melon Ink. I'm still working here on ink blending all the colors, and I'm using the Ergonomic ink blending brushes. They're great for large surfaces and for fast application. So I'm just rubbing off that yellow from my brush, and I'm applying the orange, the melon orange, onto my background. I'll ink blend with the yellow, and then I'll go again with the peony around the edges. So because we have embossed image underneath, that will resist the ink. It won't absorb, but at the end, when I'm done ink blending, I'll just rub the whole background using my microfiber cloth. So now, because my background was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, I trimmed it to 4 and 5 1/4. In the meantime, also by magic of YouTube, I cut that sentiment into a circle, and I cut a black circle as well to mount those together. I'm using foam mounting squares, white for the sentiment and then black to adhere that whole circle image onto my background. I'm just adhering it where that yellow blended area is, because that was kind of the clue where I want the sentiment to go, and it kind of radiates around. Next, to finish off the card, I'm just adding some iridescent jewels in the places where we have the lines from that faceted background to meet. Not all of the lines, but the major meeting points where you have the most lines where they intersect. So I'm just using my tweezers to pick that pick those jewels and adhere them to the background. And I thought this gives a little bit more interest and shine to the card, more sparkle. So I'm almost done here. We have a few more to go. And only left to do after this is just to adhere that whole panel onto a top folding white note card. So I have my white card note card here, and I just noticed that there's one more spot where I wanted to place a jewel, so I'm just adding that at the very end. And then I'll just add some liquid adhesive on the back of my panel and adhere it to a top folding note card. And this finishes our card for today. Let's take a closer look. That sparkle of the jewels, if you can see here. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any other future videos. For more inspiration, as well visit my blog for more ideas and inspiration. Thanks for watching. Bye!